we met through a mutual contact. It was actually from Adam.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
so my husband's in the industry, and so he was being propositioned by one of their business partners to, as they were blooming as a company, and he basically ran into my husband in the parking lot of Trulieve and said, hey, we're a brand new lab, we're just hitting the ground running, but we're right across the street in Holyoke. Would you be willing, would you be interested in working with us? And my husband was kind of like, well, that's what my wife does for a living. And then it just kind of sparked from there. The company was marketing one of my husband's company, who also works in Holyoke.
Oh, cool.
And when they mentioned that they were a startup laboratory, my husband mentioned that that's what I did for a living, and he kind of connected us. And at first I was going to do just some consulting for them, and then eventually we decided to partner together, and they brought me on full time.
Nice. Cool. So, my background actually comes from a highly regulated industry, and that's aerospace and defense. So that's where I started my career, and then I transitioned into the cannabis industry. There were a lot of factors that, Ted and I decided to take this journey, but I did have a lot of experience in working in highly regulated markets, working with ISO and all the certifications and accreditations. So that piece of the puzzle was, very synergistic with what the lab does.
So my background is environmental chemistry, so I ran environmental labs for a number of years. And then I had an opportunity to open the very first cannabis lab in the state of Arizona in 2011. There was no mandated testing, so I ended up gravitating towards Las Vegas, where there was a lot of mandated testing and oversight. And so I did some consulting up at there for a while. And then they ended up bringing me on full time. So I ran a very successful cannabis laboratory in Las Vegas. My husband ended up taking a job in Massachusetts, and these guys found me. So now I am running the lab here.
Bigger than it is now, that's for sure. We're currently looking at a few different markets as they're coming online and trying to make that decision. But I think part of our mission as a lab is to make sure that we are always able to provide a consultative approach with all of our clients and make them be in kind of have a local type of partnership or relationship with them.
I think it's really important to make sure we're very, very established here and have it down to a really, really tight science before we move to any other markets. So we don't want to expand faster than we should and end up causing chaos or not doing the science correctly, because each market is unique and different. So I think, once we have a really good base here and stability here and get the knowledge that we need here, we can start looking at other markets.
From the perspective of being a female business owner, I mean, I don't actually think about being a female business owner. I just think about being a business owner, and then I guess when I really drill down and think about it, I think about the opportunities that we have now that we didn't have before. I think about my daughter and all these other young girls, the opportunities that they'll have. It's really just kind of doing what I'm doing and trying to pave the way. Cannabis is becoming a normal part of life and accepted. It's just going to become a normal part so that these young girls don't know any different.
When I owned the business in Arizona, I was the first female scientist in this industry. As the nation, there were only 3 or 4 other labs in the entire nation, and so I was often not taken seriously, not taken that I knew what I was doing, simply because I was a little bit younger than most of the other scientists, and I was female, honestly. And so that was something that I've had to overcome throughout the years, but it's a challenge that I take head on. So Confident Cannabis it really helps streamline the process and makes it a little bit faster and easier for sample intake, or us taking samples from the clients as well as getting it back out. And one of the biggest integrating parts is metric. So it integrates seamlessly with metrics. So you make your metric manifest like you normally would. It uploads seamlessly. And then when we release the results, almost instantaneously your results are input into metric. So it's a very user-friendly tool from the client side because it allows it to integrate seamlessly with metric data. Our goal in this, we have to make sure that the cannabis is safe for consumption. That is our number one goal. It's not if you're going to fail, but when, because when we're running on these large manufacturing scales, it's just going to happen. Our goals as a business is to make sure that when our clients do fail, that we just don't leave them hanging. We hold their hand, give them direction, give them advice, and lead them back to where they're able to pass and able to get their product onto market. We work hand in hand with our clients to clean up any, say, microbial failures they might have, streamline their infusions into their edibles to make sure that they're hitting the 5 milligrams consistently, making sure that they're hitting their goals, whether it's with vape pens or shatters or whatever it is, that if they're not hitting the mark, we're going to tell them they're not hitting the mark, and then we're going to tell them how to do it. In order to work in the lab, we do require a bachelor's degree in some sort of science. Bioengineering, biology, microbiology, chemistry. We even have some people that have minors in math and things like that, but it is not a requirement. We do have employees in administration, in sample receiving, in sample pickup. We also have a couple scientists in the back that have a lot of experience without a degree. It's always great, a bonus to have a degree, but we still have a lot of positions that don't require any kind of degree.
The biggest thing is that analytics wants to make sure that our clients know exactly what's happening to their product while it's being tested, exactly what's being tested. We offer tours to our clients, checking different areas and providing report on where we might be seeing some things that could be causing or could be eventually causing some potential problems. The goal is the partnership, right? So we want our clients to have a comfort level with us. We don't want our clients to be afraid of their lab. We want our clients to be comfortable with their lab and knowing that they can call to ask any questions and to know that their products are being tested appropriately and with integrity.
Yeah. I think what Brenda said, their success is your success.
Exactly.